Hi everybody, in this video we're going to answer this question here. Before we start, I encourage you to have something to write on, so some pencil paper. You'll want your chapter 4 notes and a good calculator, something you're comfortable with. I will be showing my calculator on the screen and also my chapter 4 notes, and I will leave those two items in the description. The calculator I'm going to use is Desmos. It's free, no sign up, no download. You can use it on your phone or your computer, whatever. If you are already comfortable with the calculator you have, go for it, use it. And if you're not, then I encourage you to follow along with me with Desmos. You can open it up on your cell phone or another device if you want to, so you can work with me in real time. So with that said, let's dive into the question. So you want to have a $100,000 college fund in 20 years. How much must you deposit now in an account with an APR of 5% and daily compounding? So I'd like to go through first and pick out the important information. Most of it's pretty important. There's not too many words here, but I'm going to go and highlight what's important to me. So I want 100,000. 20 years is how much time I've got. I'm looking for what I must deposit now. My account has an APR of 5% and compounding is daily. I'm going to use this information to first find the correct formula and then plug stuff in. So I'm going to go to my chapter 4 notes. If you have your own, that's awesome. Or if you already have some printed out from the SSE, that's cool too. I'm on the SSE's website here. Quantitative reasoning, chapter 4, notes and examples. And we have a couple of other problem examples, but we have the notes and formulas. So this first page, let me make it a little bigger. This first page does cover what the different variables are. These are going to be very important because A, P, APR, Y, those are all things we're going to see in our formula. So if you're not familiar with those, I definitely recommend you take a look at that and make some notes for yourself. So for us, if I reread the question, it doesn't sound like we're making regular deposits. So there's nothing about like a savings account. There's nothing about a loan. Savings account would be chapter 4C, or a loan or a mortgage would be 4D, and that's not mentioned here. This looks like we're just doing one single deposit, which tells me it's a regular compound interest account. I know it's compound because it does say daily compounding, so that keyword's in there. So it's not simple interest, it's going to be compound interest. So that's 4B. Now, if I was looking for the total accumulated, I could use one of this formula, but I'm looking for the deposit necessary to reach a goal amount. It's worded slightly differently, but that's what I need. How much do I need to deposit to reach my goal of $100,000? So this formula is what I'm going to use. So let's bring that into our whiteboard. All right, so this is the formula. P stands for the principal or deposit. That's what we're going to solve for. A stands for, let me actually write these down as I go. So P is the deposit amount, it's dollars, that's what we have to find. A is the future value or the goal or what you end up with or what you want to end up with. And in this case, it's $100,000. That's what they want. APR is the annual percentage rate, which they said was 5%. And for us to use this formula, we have to put that in its decimal form. And 5% in decimal form is 0.05. N represents the compounding periods per year, and this said daily compounding. And there are 365 days a year, so that must be N. And Y is the number of years, and they did say 20 years. So let's replace each variable, A, APR, N, and Y, with the correct numbers from the question. So A is 100,000. APR, 0.05. N pops up in two places, and in both of them it's 365, and then finally Y, which is the number of years. So once we have this written down, and I definitely recommend writing it down on paper, we can go ahead and use the calculator. If you already have a calculator, like I said, that you're comfy with, and you know how to do the calculations in it, go for it. If you don't, please feel free to open up Desmos. Let me load it up on the screen here. Please feel free to open up Desmos, so spoiler alert, and you can follow along with me. So it's just desmos.com/scientific. And like I said, you can open this up on your phone or your computer, your laptop, your tablet, or whatever. And it's my favorite, it's my go-to because it's completely free and has a lot of really good features. So let me scoot some stuff over so we can see what we're doing. All right, so if you'd like to follow along, the first thing I'm going to do is, because this is a jumbo fraction, big old fraction, I'm going to press this A over B button to make a blank fraction. Top of my fraction has 100,000, so I'm going to type in 100,000. I think that's enough. Yep, that's 100,000. That's it for the top. The top's very simple, so I'm going to click or tap into the bottom, and I'm going to basically just type out exactly what I see. In the bottom of this big old fraction, over here, I see first a parenthesis, so parenthesis. Then I see a 1 and a plus. And then I see another fraction, so I can use this fraction button again. Top of this fraction is 0.05, so I will type that in, 0.05. Click or tap to get to the bottom. Bottom of our fraction that we have filled out was 365, so I'll type that in. And it's going to start showing you calculations over here on the side. When you're completely done, it'll be your final answer. It will continue to update as you type things in. So as we continue, the number will change. But when you're all done, it'll be right there. There's no equals button on this, which is kind of neat. So, all right, so that was it for the bottom 365. So when you are done typing in the bottom of a fraction, you can hit this right arrow key right here. So that way the calculator knows you're done with the fraction. Next up I have parenthesis, closing parenthesis. And then next I have an exponent. So I'm going to press this button over here, a to the power of b. I'm going to type this exponent how I see it written down on my little whiteboard here. I see a parenthesis. I see 365 times 20. And I see a closing parenthesis. And that is it. We can double check. It looks like everything is in there. 100,000, 0.05. 365, everything's in there. We're good. So here is our answer, $36,790.46 if we round that to the nearest cent. So let me bring that back into our whiteboard here. So that's what we typed in, and that's what we got. So that makes our final answer, round to the nearest cent, would be $36,790.46. That's my answer. So if you want to have $100,000 in 20 years, put this money into the bank right now, wait 20 years, as long as you have an APR of 5% and do the compounding, and you'll have $100,000. Easier said than done, but the math does work out nicely. So that is it for this problem. If you have any questions, please let me know. Like I said, I will leave the link to the formulas and the calculator, as well as these notes here in the description of the video. And if there's anything else I can do, just let me know.